No, when I left Ohio, I left some of my biases behind with pro sports teams because I figured I'll be covering pro sports teams around the country. I can't be repping the Cavaliers and the Cleveland Indians and these other places, but I can take Ohio State football with me. Ohio State football has always been a part of my life. I love the Buckeyes. I still believe to this day that they lost a game to Michigan in 2003 because I couldn't watch that game. I begged my editor at the Boston Globe, Don Squire, I said, please don't have me covering Harvard and Yale because Ohio State and Michigan are playing, and I got to watch this game. Ohio State got blown out in that game, and then I don't think they've lost to Michigan since. Okay, maybe once or twice. So I understand the importance of Big Ten football, and it means a lot to me. But one thing I don't love more than Big Ten football is safety. One thing I don't love more than Big Ten football is life. So, look, coming from the Midwest, the one thing I love about the area is that people just tell you like it is. It's just straight up. It's not like a lot of nuance in the Midwest. It's just like, hey, you like it or you don't. Straight up, I'm going to tell you. So can I just say this? On one hand, it's good that Big Ten football supposedly will be played, scheduled to be played in October. Mm-hmm. That's good. October 24th is supposed to be the first game. And that is a reversal from what the league, from what the conference's commissioner and chancellors and presidents put out in August. Can we be straight? This ain't about new information. No. So if you can say it's not about new information, if you can just admit it's not about student athletes not doing what's best for these kids, this is about money. Cue the OJs. Some people got to have it. It's what it is. It's $66 million at the base and more money coming when you are part of the Power 5 conferences. So don't tell me this is about safety. Don't tell me that it's about college presidents and chancellors sitting down at the table and rethinking it. It's all about money. And if you admit that, okay, more power to you. But don't tell me that the science has changed, because the science has not changed. And there's a very good chance, Michael Smith, that by October 24th, there could be an outbreak. There could be those numbers going up. And what are you going to do then? Are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to follow the money?
There's outbreaks now. College campuses are hotspots all over the country. I believe Michigan State, has an outbreak that they're dealing with now. I mean, Wisconsin's dealing with COVID-19. Maryland, I mean, it was the right decision then, and it would have been the right decision now to sit this one out. You know how your mama, she say, if everybody jump off a bridge, you gonna jump too? Like, that's what this is. This is peer pressure. This is peer and political pressure. This is, well, the NFL's playing. Well, excuse me, they're professional athletes. They're getting paid to do it. They're not. None of these people are going to be in a bubble in college football or isolated from the rest of their campuses, which again, outbreaks left and right around the country. This is, well, the SEC's about to play. We just watched college football kick off this week. The ACC's playing. Why can't we play? I mean, the fact that Larry Scott from the Pac-12 had to put out a statement today saying we're not ready to play. Well, duh. The West Coast is literally on fire right now. Meanwhile, you have USC students writing the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, saying, please help us. We want to play, when he's literally trying to put out fires elsewhere, and they're asking to play. So what boggles the mind here is how exploited college athletes, in particular college football players, have been for decades and decades. And now and I get the opportunity. I get they have dreams of playing in the NFL. I understand it's once in a lifetime. I get all that type of stuff. But we're talking about life and death here, like you just laid out. And they're begging, literally begging, to put their bodies and lives on the line for free for the most part. And it's like, wait, guys, can we step back here? And then I mentioned the political pressure here. I believe within the last hour or so, I believe your boy in the White House had a conference call, maybe just the White House and not the president himself, had a conference call regarding Trump's involvement in bringing back Big Ten football. I've been saying this privately. You know, you could attest to it. Everything he was doing with getting Kevin Warren on the phone, the commissioner of the Big Ten, everything he was doing it's always be closing, always be selling. Everything about it fascinates me. Donald Trump wants to be president, but doesn't want the job. He wants the title, he wants a position, he wants the spotlight. He ain't trying to do the work. My man said that he read Bob Woodward's book in one night. First of all, it shocks me that he can actually read. I'm convinced he can't comprehend, and there's no way that he was reading a book that long and that comprehensive in one night. I digress. Everything for him about the Big Ten was his way of campaigning in these battleground states like Michigan and Wisconsin to try to take credit for bringing back Big Ten football. So my hope and prayer beyond the health and safety, which I don't trust the process, I don't trust the people involved, and to your point, Michael, I don't trust the motivations or the agendas behind it. I don't trust the information. I don't trust the idea of medical advancements. Yes, you're doing rapid daily testing, but we don't know anything about this disease. But my hope and prayer is that in the grand scheme, beyond the health and safety of these players in the short term, and maybe even long term when it comes to the health issues associated with COVID, my prayer is that the people who may be on the fence about voting, who haven't voted yet, hopefully you voted by now, but who may be on the fence about voting, are not swayed by the idea that somehow Donald Trump helped bring Big Ten football back to the Midwest, which, as you pointed out off the top, is a way of life to these people.
It is a way of life. And I wonder, what that experience is going to be like, watching Big Ten football, because we all like it. For example, I still have family all over the state of Ohio. So Columbus, to see Columbus on a Saturday afternoon, the time, everybody knows Ohio State football is playing. If you got some stuff to do, if you're not into Ohio State football, that's a rare person, by the way, who's not into it. But if you're not into it, that's your time to go grocery shopping. That's your time to go to the mall or whatever, because the streets are empty. It's all about tailgating and the game and all the bars and restaurants around the game, around Ohio Stadium. So that's going to be a different experience. It's not like it's not going to be the Saturday tradition, but that's beside the point. Here it is. You mentioned the political part of it. There's a political part of it nationally, and there's a political part of it within academia. Now, I can say this because I mess around with academia every now and then. A lot of it, I did say I stopped cussing, so I can't really say what I really want to say. But a lot of it is just so bogus. It's BS. You can tell what somebody is really about when money is not factored in. When they don't need your money, and they're not thirsting for money, then you can see what the real decision is. And the Big Ten is all about Power 5 money. So let's go to the opposite. The opposite of the Big Ten is the Ivy League, right? Ivy League, okay, we're not in it to the Power 5. We're not even in the sports. So Harvard has the biggest endowment in the world. They don't need your money. They're not thirsting for your money. Harvard was one of the first schools to say, oh, no, it's not safe. We're not coming back to campus, and we're not playing sports. Done. Because it's not about money for them. It's really about the most intelligent decision. And Michael, I know this. I know this to be true. I hope I'm wrong, but I know I'm not on this. Within the Big Ten, Michigan, hate to say something nice about Michigan, Michigan has one of the top science programs in the Big Ten, if not the top science program in that conference. You mean to tell me there's not a professor or professors at Michigan who can contradict all of the tripe that we have heard today about new information and protocols? I know there's somebody who's a specialist on infectious diseases who can say, wait a minute, this is a little too risky. We shouldn't be doing this. We're doing this because of pressure and money. And Christina Johnson, the president of Ohio State, let me tell you, know where the power is. You're not the president of Ohio State. Ryan Day is. Ryan Day is the president.
And
kiss that ring. Kiss that ring.
Ryan Day, Jim Harbaugh, with help from his brother John, they have been in Nebraska. It was talk early on about, we're going to play our own season. They have never been right with this decision in the Big Ten. I'm not saying Kevin Warren has done everything right. I know he's come under a lot of fire, but that was an 11-3 vote the first time, unanimous this time. They had to kowtow and cater so much internal and external pressure, peer and political pressure. I want to read you something. This is from Nicole Auerbach. She shared this. This is part of the statement about the protocols. Listen to this. All COVID-19 positive student athletes will have to undergo comprehensive cardiac testing to include labs and Boy markers, ECG, echocardiogram, and cardiac MRI. Following cardiac evaluation, student athletes must receive clearance from a cardiologist designated by the university for the primary purpose of cardiac clearance for COVID-19 positive student athletes. The earliest a student athlete can return to game competition is 21 days following a COVID-19 positive diagnosis. This is where it gets fun, and I mean that tongue in cheek. In addition to the medical protocols approved, the 14 Big Ten institutions will establish a cardiac registry in an effort to examine the effects on COVID-19 positive student athletes. The registry and associated data will attempt to answer many of the unknowns regarding the cardiac manifestations in COVID-19 positive elite athletes. You don't take the field with unknowns as it relates to the human heart. You just don't do it. And it's just, listen, it's eight games in 8 weeks, and I know people around the country are just clamoring to get back to some sense of normalcy.
We all are.
But we're about to go into into a stretch, the toughest stretch maybe. That's saying something with almost 200,000 people dead. We're about to go into flu season. You know, there are outbreaks happening all over college campuses, and everybody's just trying to act like this virus somehow cares about our inconveniences, and it doesn't. It doesn't. Now there's news today about a plan to make a free vaccine available. All of it's politics. All of it's a ploy for votes. I don't know about you, Michael. I'm going to be among the last people vaccinated. I already feel like I'm one of the last people quarantining now. I already feel like I'm one of the last people social distancing now. I will be the last person getting this vaccine. I'm not going to be a guinea pig, and it's unfortunate that these young people are going to be people's guinea pigs in the name of money, as you pointed out.
Yeah, it's in the name of money, and let's not look. If it's about money, go ahead and say it, because I can understand it. I can understand if that's your motivation. Let's just be clear about it. Just take away all of the extras. Let's take away all of the red herrings about how these student athletes and doing what's best and trying to develop these young men. Look, this is where COVID-19 was convenient in terms of Power 5 football conferences. It happened in March. So you can look good in March. Hey, we're doing the right thing. Hey, we're doing the right thing. It is just best. It is best to shut it down because you don't have college football in March. So it's not really affecting you. But now, when people are thinking in March, oh yeah, it's not gonna be here in the fall. Now that it's affecting the fall, everybody is really declaring what this is all about.